It's been hugely valuable, and I would certainly recommend it to anybody else, because the advice and the having those conversations certainly, was implanted, in decisions that I was making without me actually truly realizing. The reason for going for a coach is because of we were going for a transition in the business. So as I was the original founder, I built the business to get to a point where I would eventually sell the company, and we chose to go for an employee ownership trust model. So members of staff that would obviously be stepping up into more senior roles with needed support. When I met my coach, Jeff, the original goal for myself was all about my succession planning, bringing in the team and hopefully achieving that timeline, which had extended due to the actual pandemic. So having somebody reinforce that vision that we initially had when we had our conversation, and making sure that I didn't lose track of that vision, and that make sure I was putting actions and plans in place to bring that team on board, came quite a lot from actually my coach. Jeff was able to walk me through that process and say, actually, we need to ensure systems and processes are clearly documented in place, and the team share that vision as well. So yeah, it was definitely refreshing having very regular updates, weekly updates with your coach, just to ensure that you don't lose track. A lot of our sessions, when we were incredibly busy with challenging schemes, I used a lot of those very early weekly meetings with Jess for a sounding board, just to ensure that I didn't lose focus and didn't forget what that initial goal was. So quite a lot of our meetings was just for Jeff to just reiterate every time, going, look, this is our vision for this quarter, we need to achieve this, or we're going to be behind in our overall goal. To initially for myself was to build the team that were enabling me to exit the company in the future. And it turned out I was doing the role of 12 separate people, so it meant we needed to bring 12 people in to ensure that I would be able to exit the business in the future. The team has grown significantly. We have I would say now 12 white collar in the office, and the more blue collar roles, there's 34 members of staff now at ResTech, whereas at the beginning when Jeff came in there was around 12. So in order to actually grow that team, we knew that the profitability would actually reduce, but it would be more sustainable. So although we did see a drop in profits, still in a very, very strong position, but more of a sustainable position. So to give an example for that, when initially we were having meetings with the coach, we were lucky to have a head of orders for any, longer than say 2-3 weeks. And we've got an order book now 2 years in advance, where we've got the major projects. All of that wouldn't have been really possible had we not changed the whole approach really to the model of the business, and that's very much been supported by the guidance of our coach. It certainly would have taken longer. I would even say that I probably wouldn't have employed the team I have had it not been for my coach. When I met my coach, very much owner operated, and it almost felt like an employee of my own business. I wore many, many hats. So so now where I'm able to step away from the company and it can still function, and under the team, under new stewardship, I certainly wasn't in that position 5 years ago. And my goal and my challenge to build this team was entirely new to me. So I'd never sold a company before, and having a coach was able to steer me down this path that, like I say, was alien, and ensure that, that focus was maintained so that I achieved that goal.